Started. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And for those of you who are listening by way of recording, we're really thankful that you're taking the time to do that. So, today we're talking about one of my very favorite topics because I truly do believe that this is the very most important thing that we do as Juice Plus partners, and that would be taking care of our customers, customer care. I always tell people when they're new, there's only one thing that is not optional, and that would be taking care of your customers. So it really is the only thing that when you add customers, you're signing up to come alongside those people and to support them and help them. And the good news for you is we have made that so easy as a team for you to do. And I'm super excited to share that with y'all today. So, what I'm sharing today is our Team Impact 5-star customer care system that we have. We as a team are committed to excellent, engaging customer care and giving people a wonderful Juice Plus experience. I would venture to say that many times we lose customers because we didn't support them in the way that is best when they're initially getting started as a Juice Plus customer. And I say that based on my own personal experience. Truly, y'all, if there is one thing I could do differently, if I could turn back the hands of time and go back to when I was a brand new partner, like some of you are right now, the one thing I would do differently is customer care. I'm going to tell you, when I got started, I was so on fire to share Juice Plus, and I was getting 30 new customers a month for a while there. I mean, I was on fire. I firmly believed that everybody that I knew and cared about deserved to hear about Juice Plus and deserved to make an informed decision about whether or not they wanted this for themselves and their family. I still believe that today. And so, but I have a different level of understanding of what my responsibility is to those new people that I sign up. So I signed up a boatload of new people. Um, for months, I did that. And I will say this to encourage you. At that point in time, there wasn't a system in place. There was a system in place. Let me just say that. But there was not the system that our team currently has in place to take care of our customers. We've always had a system, and my sponsor diligently taught me the system. And I did follow that system ultimately as I was taught. Um, but that system involved, it was pretty complicated in terms of you're supposed to reach out, uh, day one, day 14, day 60, you know, day 30, day 60. And you had to kind of keep a little, like, you had to put them on your calendar. It was pretty complicated to do that, and so, needless to say, somebody like me who was just on total fire, sharing the product, that was what fell through the cracks. Some of those, like, it got to be a lot when you're talking about that many people, and they're all on a different schedule. Day one, day 14, day 30. It was like, ah! So it was complicated. And so I'm really excited that we have a system that makes it so simple for y'all now. But I like to think in terms of three things, and the company does a lot to help us too. And I'm going to review what the company does as well as what our team does. So, but there's three different things that I think are important in the way of customer care. It's our mindset, our heart set, and our skill set. So you do need to have a skill set to do this. You need to be taught how to do this. And your sponsor will teach you every step of the way. Okay. So there is a skill set, and it's easy peasy. Let me just tell you. Um, the mindset, mindset is always the most important thing. Doesn't it always come down to that? The Bible says, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Our thinking, our mindset has everything to do with how our life goes, and the Bible tells us that. And so um, it's it's foundational in everything we do, not just in building a business. Our mindset is foundational in our relationships, in our family life, in our marriage, in our friendships. It touches everything. Our mindset does, and our heart set does too. So the mindset around customer care is, this is the most important thing we do. It's the foundation of inspiring healthy living and building a stable and lasting Juice Plus customer. Stable and lasting. We want lifetime customers. We don't want somebody that starts and then they never get past that first box. We want lifetime customers because we all know the longer you take it, the better it gets. The longer you take it, the more health changes you see. The more health changes. If that person quits before 4 months and they never get the second box, in our family, for example, we would have never known that we would come off allergy medicine, asthma medicine, prescription acne medicine, that the doctor's office visits would go away. We would have never known that if we didn't get the second box, because that all happened at 8 months. And part of what we do is we educate people that nutrition is slow, gradual change. And I use that exact verbiage with new customers. Nutrition is slow, gradual change. This is not like taking a prescription and you see an immediate change. We set up expectations from the very beginning so that they have the right mindset around this. And I mentioned, as far as our mindset, it's the only part of our business that's not optional. We do this. We commit to do this because bottom line is we commit to do this because we're people of integrity. We care about people and we're people of integrity, and we do what we set out to do, and we take good care of people. Number three, it's the key to what I call the four R's of our business. Customer retention hinges upon customer care. They will not stay if you don't take care of them. It's like Amy Getz says, only brush the teeth you want to keep. If you don't take care of your customer, you'll lose them. If you don't take care of your teeth, you'll lose them. So it's true. The second R is lifetime residual income. You'll get residual income for life. The third thing is referrals. You will get referrals from all of your really happy customers. I have one really happy customer, longtime happy customer. She actually, and this is other ammunition for, or fuel is the best way to say it, for re-engaging with your canceled customers. She actually was a canceled customer. And this woman heard somebody else talking about Juice Plus one day in Bible study, and she said, I used to be on that. Why don't I still take that? And she called me up and she said, I don't know why I stopped taking it. And she said, I should have never done that. I'm like, Ann, I'm so thankful that you realize that now. And she's on the quad, and she has referred me now four quad customers. She has no interest in doing what I do, but she's referred four quad customers, and I've given, her boxes of, complete, because I want to. She's, I mean, if I were her, I'd be a P plus, but She doesn't want to do that. And so every now and again, I give her a box of complete because she loves complete. And so, I want to say a huge thank you in a meaningful way. And then the fourth R is recruiting to team. And you may not even be thinking about how you want to build a team. That may not be part of what you even want to do. But here is the thing. Um, you will come across customers who love their Juice Plus and they want to share it with people they care about. They're not thinking about building a business. They're not thinking about being a team member. They're just thinking, I want my mother, my father, I want my sister to know about this. And so that's what a partner is somebody that wants to share it with people that they love. Um, so the four R's: retention, residual income, referrals, and recruiting to your team. The other important thing about mindset is every customer's mindset is, I'm trying this. They're not, they're not saying I'm a lifer. They're not saying I'm doing this for life. They're saying, I'm going to try this. Um, and that is why their first 4 months are critical to whether or not they become a customer for life. So the heart set we have is that relationships are not something, they are everything. This is a relationship business that we have. I always tell people, if you don't care about people, this is not for you. Um, if you don't like people, you won't like this. If you aren't a relational person and you don't want to help care for people, this is really not something that's a good thing for you to do. The other heart set I have, it is such a privilege and an honor to be a small part of someone's health journey. And I know y'all are like me. There is nothing that makes my day more than a customer coming to me and saying, oh my gosh, my cholesterol came down 40 points since I started Juice Plus. Can you believe it? There is nothing better than a young mom coming back and saying what Casey said, we haven't really been sick since we started. There is nothing better than somebody who has struggled. Because let's face it, a healthy family is a happy family. If your child is sick all the time and you're at the pediatrician's all the time and you have to stay home from work all the time, it's stressful. A healthy family is a happy family. If everybody's healthy, if the kids can go to school, if mom can go to work if she needs to, or just do life as she needs to, whatever it might be, that's a lower stress family. That's a happier family. And all of us are happier when we feel healthy. There's a Mother Teresa quote that said, none of us, she said, Mother Teresa, Mara gave me an angel that sits in front of me. Every time I dry my hands, I see the angel that she sent me with the Mother Teresa quote that says, none of us, including me, ever do great things, but we can do small things with great love. And together we can do something wonderful. And that's what customer care is. It's doing small things with great love. So that makes me excited about doing customer care because I think we all know that people in our world, everybody needs to feel extra loved these days. So this is what the skill set is for 5-star customer care. So I'm going to pull up, I'm going to share screen for just a minute. And Steve, I'm sending you a request to share screen. So as soon as you let me do that, okay, I think I can do that now. I'm going to share screen. Okay, so can y'all see the customer profile? Okay, so you're going to get a copy of this, so you don't need to worry about that part of it. But the first thing about customer care is you've got to know your customer. You've got to know about your customer. And so when I have a new customer, one of the first things I say to them, and this is actually a part of the process of getting your customer, is, what are your health goals? What would you love to see happen in your health right now? That's often I mean, we're talking about that as we're even sharing G's Plus and getting new customers. Um, but you really want to get that in writing. So you want to ask your new customer, why'd you decide to order? What would you like? What are the top three things that you would like to see Juice Plus do for you and your family? And then I just shut up and I listen because I want to know and I want to write down what are the top three things that they would love to see happen in their family's health. And that's what I love about this sheet. I have one of these printed off for every customer, and I'm a hard copy person. I I don't know how you could keep this digitally, but I'm sure Mimi, our digital expert, could probably tell us how to do that. But anyway, I don't know how to do that. But I keep a customer notebook, and I keep it with a hard copy of every single customer, and it's got this filled out in it. So it's got their name and, their contact information. It's got what they ordered. I check that off. I also right up front ask them if I can friend them on Facebook. I tell them about our happy customer Facebook group, Simple Solutions, that I want to invite them to, where they're going to get recipes and health encouragement, and it's a happy group. They're going to get lots of support, lots of encouragement. And hey, by the way, we want you to post in there too, because it's an interactive group. And we want our new customers to feel comfortable posting their favorite recipes and all the things that they, are learning about. Because we're all on this journey together. None of us have arrived, right? We can learn from our customers. And then I do ask them what their favorite way to learn is. Um, because I want to know if they enjoy coming to events, if they like to, be educated on health and nutrition and how they like to learn. Do they like to, um, attend webinars? Do they like to hear special speakers? Do they like to read things? And would they like to come to future events that we have on health and wellness to encourage them? So all of that, you get to find out, and then I do ask them, try to start navigating them into thinking about how are you going to get into a good habit with this? Where are you going to put your Juice Plus so that you are going to be reminded to take it every day? Because um, that's super important, and we want to help them get into a good habit. And then I ask them the best way to contact them via email, text, or through the phone. It seems like most people these days love texting. But, knowing them and what they like and what's preferable to them is an important part of it. So that's what I do when I first sign people up. Um, and then down the road, you can see that this same one sheet page survey here um, does have the experience survey on it too, which I love. There is a separate experience survey that you can complete, but the reason I like to put it on this sheet is that I've just learned up here what they were looking for. So now I'm going to see, hey, did that happen down here? And I will tell you when I call them up, and that's a phone call to make. When I call them up, and usually I'll text them and I'll say, let me know when you have 5 minutes to get on the phone. And this survey happens at 90 days. There's a lot of things that happen in between. I'm going to fill in the blanks in just a minute, but um, this needs to happen live is the best way for this to happen. But they will get a message via Project Broadcast that will um, have them be thinking about these same things. But the cool thing that happens when you get on the phone with somebody, and I really try to honor the time, if I tell them it's going to be 5 minutes, I really look at my watch and I try to be mindful of that. And if if we get into a conversation that gets lengthier, I say, I remember you told me you had 5 minutes. I want to do a check-in because I'm loving what we're talking about, but I don't want to, I don't want you to feel like every time you and I talk that it's going to go forever. So anyway, but a good example of this, I had a young family, and one of the big reasons they were a very healthy family actually, other than the kids got sick all the time, but they weren't taking medications for any kind of chronic situation. But the kids were sick all the time, and it's a two working parent family, and so the kids getting sick all the time was really a problem and very stressful for the whole family. So the big top thing on this mom's mind was, I really don't want my kids to be sick all the time anymore. And I've got picky eaters. So those were the things. And then she wanted more energy. So young mom, probably in her 30s, our financial advisor's wife, a little tip in that your customers come from who you do business with. So if you have a financial advisor, they need to hear about Juice Plus. So anyway, everybody we know and care about needs to hear about Juice Plus. So, um, but when I called her, I was refreshed. I had this form in front of me. I looked at before I called her. I looked at what she was hoping for, and then we went through the survey together. Well, lo and behold, they were eating more fruits and vegetables. You know, that was on her top three list. Yay! Um, she did have increased energy level. That was on her top three list. And then we went through the rest of this. And then I specifically asked her, tell me about your kids. Are they getting sick as much? Because that's not clearly worded here. So um, she said, we have not been sick since we have taken Juice Plus. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a win for me to hear that. And she said, Sharon, I would have never connected it. It's like life is so crazy busy for us. I would have never even connected that we weren't getting sick being related to our Juice Plus. So we help them connect those dots. So now, do you think this family is going to ever go off Juice Plus? Probably not. I mean, they had their top three health concerns. They were all met, taking Juice Plus. You've got a lifetime commitment from a family. Um, so the customer profile is gold. So that is the first thing you're going to do. And I suggest that you go ahead and print off a ton of these. Now, with a brand new customer, if they have not received, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And if you can put me on speaker view, I'm going to put myself on speaker view here, so that you can see what I'm holding up. Okay. For some reason, I'm seeing Severn on speaker view. Okay. Well, anyway, um, this postcard, can you see it? Can everybody see this? Okay. So if they have not been at an event and I've not seen them in person to give them one of these, then I mail one of these. See, there's a nice little place for you to put their address, and you can put the stamp right up here. Sadly, it doesn't take postcard stamps. It takes regular letter stamps. But anyway, and what I always do is I always write a little note, and we'll make sure you know how to get these. So just connect with your upline partner, your leader, and they'll let you know. Um, but what I always put on here is I always put, I'm so excited that you and your family are getting started, and getting this powerful nutrition in your bodies every single day. And I'll remind them how they're going to take it. Remember to take one of every capsule for your first 6 days or 5 days, however, your first week, however you want to word that. But you don't want them starting on the full amount of Juice Plus because they're likely going to have some detox symptoms if they do that. They might still have detox starting with one of everything, but more than likely, if they're fairly healthy, they won't. If they're very fragile, they have extremely poor gut health, or they're really a bad eater and very, very unhealthy, like on a lot of prescription meds and all the things, then they're going to want a very slow start. That's not the usual person, but get with your upline leader and they'll share the slow start. Okay. But for most people, it's start with half the amount, for the first, 4 to 7 days, and then go up to the full amount. And so if it's the packets of superfood, it'll be a half a packet. And what I do is, for 6 days, because that's 3 packets. And so I put the instructions on there. And then I also circle, I circled all those research findings, and I put over a little arrow and say, aren't you excited that you're going to be experiencing all of these incredible changes proven by science? So I just make it so that they are cheering and hooting and hollering and understanding, how powerful what they're starting to get into their body really is. I send a welcome letter myself. I'm happy to share that. I will share that with all of the leaders via email. And then we put them as a team into what's called a new customer campaign. And that means they're put into Project Broadcast, which is our team resource. It's our it's something that it's a system that I've signed up for, that I pay for our team, to have the ability to get regular messages to our customers. And so I have an assistant who helps me with this, who is invaluable, Mary. And if you ever meet her, we'll always want to let her know how much we appreciate her. But she's the one that sends these messages to people. I make it very clear to them in the very first message about who I am, and that I am not their person, their partner, that you are their upline support person, not me. And that I am a nurse practitioner by background. I'm a part of their quote wellness team. And that I'm super excited for them, and that I've got a series of messages I'm sending to help them know and understand how valuable what they've just started is. And so I let them know right out of the gate that I'm not you and that you're their go-to girl. The second message comes on day 10. It tells them to sign up for their customer portal. It also invites them to the customer Facebook page. It also makes sure that they know about the Healthy Starts program. Day 12, they get a message telling them about the habit and how important the habit is. There's a little video that y'all are familiar with, probably, that's included in that too. They're also given the opportunity at message 3 to say, no, thank you. I don't want these messages anymore. Because some people who are put in as new customers actually have been customers for a good while, but they've got a new order, and we want them to not have to get a series of messages if they don't want them. But some of our customers might want the education. You never know. Day 15, I tell them why it comes in a 4-month supply. Red blood cells turn over and regenerate every 120 days. Talk about the bioavailability. Day 18, the consistency being the important part, and that if they're on capsules, they can take them all at once. They don't need to break them up during the day. You're getting the picture. Then they're told in another message about the additional products, Complete, Omegas, Luminate. They're told about the reset in one of the messages. They're given the immune system information in a message. And they are also told in one message, hey, are you finding yourself, wanting to share your new healthy hack with other people that you care about? Just like we share a book that we love, we often share things that we love. If you want to share this with your friends and family, let your go-to person know. Day 90, they get the experience survey, so they see the bullet points. That does not take the place of you having that survey. The final one, they get the research summary, saying basically, aren't you so excited that you are experiencing all of these? And if you've been taking it regularly, your product is going to be there in the next couple of weeks. If you're not ready, you can make an adjustment. Let your partner know that. And so that is kind of summarizes the messages that we have there. So I'm going to wrap this up very quickly. We always want to engage and invite our customers to events that we have. We want to help deepen their understanding of health and wellness and of nutrition, and of the value of being a part of the best health club they could have ever joined. You want to be sure that you have put them in Simple Solutions Facebook group. We also have monthly email newsletters. You'll receive that from your upline support team. And then the Reset 25 is a whole new level of customer care. I want every new customer to know that we have a free program that is the most research proven program to help them meet their health goals out there, bar none. So we want every single customer to know that it's available. And then we also want every single customer to know that we would love to help them share with their friends and family. So, so they'll get those messages from me. They'll actually be prompted to connect with you. Probably about 4 or 5 of my messages include let your go-to girl know if about your response to this. So they're really prompted to connect with you. So that's essentially it for their first 4 months. After 4 months, you need to remember one thing. We do want to keep them engaged. We do want to continue to build their belief. We do stay connected, obviously, because we care for them. We send them the monthly newsletters, etc. But the biggest thing you need to remember after the first 4 months is no box ships apart from you making that connection with them. The company does make a connection, but you want to make that connection too. And your upline partner will show you how you can pull a customer list so that you can easily do that from your back office. And you can keep that list. It's very easy to track along with, so you'll know your customer ship dates. Here's what the company does for us. So the company actually sends a confirmation immediately upon an order being placed. The company sends a message for declined credit cards. The company sends a message 10 days before a shipment is due to go out with a link for them to adjust it. And the company sends periodic newsletters. So that's what happens in the course of time. So that being said, I'm going to close it up and I'll open it up for questions, but you can turn off the recording, Steve. Thank you very much for listening. Let me know if you have questions. And you can turn off the recording, Steve.